Hello, hello, hello again, everybody, and welcome. How is everybody doing? How is your weekend going so far? Hopefully, everybody's having a good weekend. Okay, so today, hopefully, we're going to get through, as you can see up top here, we've got 146 pages to go through. And like I said yesterday, you guys, when we were going through the other document, this one here, there's going to be a trigger warning that there are photos that are going to be shown of the victims, their fingerprints. You're going to be able to see on those injuries that were caused. So if you are sensitive to stuff like that, you don't want to watch most of this, or you can turn away when we get to the fingerprint photos. Okay. I'm doing great, Rose. How are you doing? It's so good to see you. 2 days in a row, we get to see Rose. That is amazing. All of you. Carol, Kate. There's Kate. She's laughing at Carol made it on time. Carol's usually, it's like, I didn't get the notification. Oh, and there's Rose. So these, what we're going to go over, I did go through all these pages this morning, tried to get a little bit more organized than I was yesterday. I was just yesterday kind of frustrated because I know I can't have a lot open until I get another screen because it ends up messing up my system. So I've got the 2 monitors right now. I'm going to invest in a third one so I can have the different pages and I don't have to keep pushing things across the screen and everything. I can just click over to the other screen. I was sick as a dog yesterday. It's going around. Oh no. Well, I'm hoping you're feeling better today, and I hope you get well soon. I love you lots too, Rose. Oh my gosh, you guys are all getting sick. I just went out for the first time today, probably in a week, but I had to go out and pick up some supplies before this next snowstorm hits. We just got cleaned up from the last snowstorm. I had like almost half an inch of ice. Thank God I had my windshield and everything covered, but my back window on the Jeep and everything, it was just like, oh my gosh. I was so scared I was going to break the window. But it was thick. I went through 2 full bags of salt. Went out looking for salt today and went to like 4 or 5 different places. Nobody has any salt. So it looks like I'm going to have to probably go out in the middle of the snowstorm to go get more salt. They don't have shipments coming in until Monday, and we're supposed to be in for another one. So I know you guys are supposed to get it too, Kate, so be careful with that. Hello, Christy Hamilton. I hope you're doing well too. I'm doing well. Thank you. I love that. Christy Hamilton. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, my hometown, born and raised. Okay, so let's get into the documents, you guys. We're going to get through as much of this as we can. This is part 1. There is a part 2, and it is, I think, just as many pages as this one. So I don't think we will get through both of them today. So the next one will probably be Monday or Tuesday. Tomorrow, we are going to attempt to do the mini reads. I'm going to do them at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So it gives a little bit. People were saying 11 was too early and 1 was a little too early. So we're going to do it around 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you guys want your very own mini read, come on in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Eastern. Also this morning, when I was going through all these documents again, before I ventured out, my keyboard went for a crap. So I had to go out and spend another $140 on another keyboard. So there's Kat. Hello, Kat. Made it just in time before we started. Good to see you guys. Really good to see you guys. Okay, so let's get into this because it is a long document. There are some repeats of some of the fingerprints. And the reason why that is because the first time they submitted fingerprints, so they had the victim's fingerprints so they could rule out some of the latent prints that they took, if they could match those to the victims, right? We heard a lot over the last few years about the L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. We've got it on here now. So I think they get through most of them. And then the second part, like I said, we'll do that probably Monday or Tuesday. There's a lot more of the fingerprint evidence that they had gone through. Also, what I want to point out here is you can see here on my last video, I think it was over on Twitter. They're saying, this one person said, Jack Decor was a suspect right up until Bryan Kohberger pled guilty. No, he wasn't. And I've got proof of it here. Like you can see here, this was just like the week or so after the red drums, where they were looking at Jack. They were looking at him. So we're going to get through it all, you guys. I'm going to show you on the documents where December 5th, which is 3 weeks later, he was no longer a suspect. Now, I know he was ruled out pretty fast because he gave up his phone. He let them search his apartment. He gave a DNA sample. He gave fingerprints. He gave anything they wanted. He gave to them. And that was Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. So I get it, why they had to look at him as a suspect, and he just lived around the corner from them. But he gave them everything, cooperated, and he was ruled out pretty quick within the first 2 weeks, I believe. And we're going to see that in the documents as of December, like the document that we see this type of thing where there's a suspect, subject, and the victims, that his name is no longer there as a suspect. So let's get into it. So digital, this is evidence description. This is description of what we're going to be seeing. Digital images for comparison captured at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. 4 exemplars bearing the name Ethan Chapin. The same for Xana, Madison, and Kaylee. Okay. Conclusions and interpretations. 1 latent print was examined for a comparable ridge detail. Latent print L5, and we heard a lot about this L5, is a value for comparison. Latent print L5 is a value for multi-module biometric identification system, MBIS inquiry. That is false. And I'm going to show you right here because it's in this document when they got his fingerprints. So stop it. Till years after the allegedly. Well, Glowy, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a lie. So whoever told you that, stop listening to them. It's a lie. Okay. And like I said, right here, you can see he was a suspect. He gave up everything. They searched his apartment. We went through that yesterday. They searched his apartment, everything. And here they took his fingerprints, everything. Nothing of his matched. Okay, so latent prints of value were analyzed and compared to the known exemplars bearing the names Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Latent print L5 was entered and searched through MBIS where no likely candidates were generated. So the fingerprint that they got was not in their system. Now, the L5 latent print, you can see right here, the only one that they could exclude was Madison. Now, L5 is on the sliding glass door off the kitchen. It was on the edge of the handle of the door. There was a fingerprint. Well, I'm glad you're here, Glowy. I'm glad you're here. The L5 was on the sliding door in the kitchen, and it was on the edge of the handle. The L6 was on the sliding door above the handle. L4 was the potential shoe print that was seen on the floor outside of Dylan's bedroom. The L3 was a hand or a false fabric pattern type thing outside the second floor west bedroom, which was Xana's bedroom. So somewhere on that outside wall, that corner there, if you went, or like if you're looking at it from the front of the house, like her bedroom was on the second floor, right? The bedroom below her was empty. On that wall or around the side of the wall, they found some kind of potential hand or fabric pattern. Now, I don't know if that was the red stuff or if it was a fingerprints. I don't know. We'll kind of look through it again once we get to that part of it. The L2 was, you know, the window where there was handprints in that on the window, the screen was ripped out and there was handprints in that on the window and like kind of like the side of somebody's face or something. So the L2 was a print under that pane on the left side below the hand marks. They got a fingerprint there, and also that same window above the handprints. They got a fingerprint there too. So just so we know, I will let you know and remind you as we're going through this which one of these they're talking about, because to keep remembering, L2 was what, L5 was what. So I will keep reminding you. Excluded in the table above indicates that the latent print is excluded to the exemplars used. So Madison is the only one. Now, the fingerprints that they took at autopsy of Xana, Ethan, and Kaylee, they weren't good enough fingerprints that they could exclude them from leaving that fingerprint on the sliding door, on the handle, and above the handle. But the L5 is the sliding door on the edge of the actual handle. No fingerprints were found to be on file for Jack DeCour, Bethany Funk, and Dylan Mortensen's. In order to complete the comparison portion of this examination, it is requested that a quality set of fingerprints is submitted. Okay, so right here they are asking for Jack DeCour, Bethany Funk, and Dylan Mortensen's fingerprints. They were given, and this was requested. Let's go back up here. This is between November 18th and November 21st. Okay. Okay, so the L5 comparison results, we already went through this. Disposition of the evidence. The latent prints were marked and preserved. Digital images used for analysis or comparison are being retained by the forensic services. So they were keeping those fingerprints that were submitted to them to try and match them to somebody until they got from Jack DeCour, Bethany Funk, and Dylan Mortensen, because they want to exclude anybody that legally should have been in that house, right? And the four girls, Ethan and Jack. Jack was Kaylee's boyfriend, and Ethan was staying there with Xana and practically lived there, right? So they want to exclude them first. Items 25, 28 are being retained in the laboratory pending further comparisons. The digital evidence will not be returned to the submitting agency. So they're not returning it back to the police department until they get these people's fingerprints so they can compare them to the L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and L6. And this was on the 28th of November. So latent print analysts. Okay, so this is just confirming that they got the prints for Ethan from the autopsy, Xana from the autopsy, Madison from her autopsy, and Kaylee from her autopsy. They also used a couple different ways of spelling her last name, and I feel like that's so unprofessional. Like three different ways. Goncalves, Goncalves, like three different spellings here, which is atrocious. But anyway, tests. So they were testing the L5. And the L5, it says right here, plastic slider door in kitchen of house facing kitchen interior. They used amido black to get the fingerprint. They go in and this is all just how they enter it into their system. Side area not clear, need better recording. And this is where they're saying like, these fingerprints, they need better fingerprints. So they'll have to get them again from either the morgue or something. So they're saying that this is what they got. They got the finger rolls, palms, and feet from each of the victims. Fingers, rolls, and feet from each of them. Okay, so the latent L5. They're just saying that they tried to compare them against the prints that they had from the victims. And they did say that there was no hit. Okay, so they didn't find anybody that matched that print that from the house. You know what I mean? Okay, the L5 again, and they're saying that it was on 11/28, in order to search against registered latents, the first candidate on the list is L5 of this case, no hit on all other candidates. So there was no hit from any of them, okay? So right here, see this? This is 11/22. So November 22nd, they ran a search on Jack DeCour, Bethany Funk, and Dylan Mortensen. Okay? And there was no hit. Madison was excluded. Kaylee was excluded. And Xana and Ethan's prints, they still couldn't. It was inconclusive. That's what INCE is. It's they were inconclusive. And that is, again, for the L5. So we know up here By the 22nd of November, Jack Decor, Bethany Funk, and Dylan Mortensen gave their fingerprints. So that's what I'm saying, Glowy. So whoever told you that they didn't get his fingerprints until years after the incident, they lied to you. Okay, let's continue. So here we go with the fingerprints. Now this one here is Madison Mogen's fingerprints. This is the right thumb. And you can see like chunks and stuff like this. There's spots here where there should be prints and they're not. So are these wounds? I don't know. Like here, part of the tip of the finger. But these are her prints. Again, here, this is the palm. And you can see here, here, here. So did she kind of like wake up? Some of these aren't, like these should be straight lines, if you know anything about fingerprinting. Some of the other photos, you can see them a lot better, but you can see here, like this should have been fingerprints. You know what I mean? And here, so I do believe that she had cuts on her hand too. And this is just the back of that paper telling you what it was. This is Madison Mogen's right hand. And like I said, you can see tons of areas here where prints didn't come out because they're probably, look at this, the whole tip of the finger here, probably damaged. Here you can see it a lot better, right here and right here. You can see the cuts in the skin. So these had to be really, let me just take that off. These wounds here had to be really gaping for them to show up like this, because usually they would just show up similar to this. This looks like it could have been a really gaping ones too. These, I don't know why they turned out the way they did, but you can clearly see that these are big slices in her hand. This is her left palm. You can see it right here. Not for this to show up like this. Like you can see this line here? This line should have followed through, and you can see how it's cut here. The same as these lines here should have followed through and it's been cut. The same as up here. No, you can see that these are clearly cuts. Like, see, here's a perfect example. See this line here? This is coming, if you look at your hand, this is coming from like the side of your hand, right? You should be able to see that clear coming right through. But you see how it is in the middle where you can't see it? The same as this line coming up here, you can't see it. That's because there's injuries there. Okay, so that's just the back of the paper. This is her left foot. Now, I don't know, but it kind of looks to me like this is a print line that comes up, but this looks abnormal to me. I took some of this when I was in school, so this is how I can kind of recognize certain areas, like here. See how the prints stop? The rest of the toe is there, so this should be here, but it's not. So was she trying to kick at him? See how there's parts missing here? Now, if it would have been just off here, you know what I mean? I would say, okay, they didn't roll it good enough. But when you see it coming up the side here, they rolled it, but they're not getting certain parts. And that's because this is generally an injury. This looks suspicious to me. It looks like it could be an injury. And these are her other toes. A little bit up top here, but that could be the way it was taken there. But these here kind of, look like an injury. The same as here. This looks like an injury to me. This looks like an injury. This looks like an injury. You see how there's pieces missing, but there's print around it. That's why I'm saying it kind of looks like an injury. like without seeing the whole photograph, this here could be the arch, but why would this be in the middle if that was the arch? You know what I mean? So you kind of gotta speculate on some of these. This definitely looks like an injury. So does this. So does this. The other ones, I don't know. This is kind of odd to me. I was thinking arch, but if that was the arch, the middle piece wouldn't be there either. So there's that. Excuse me, there's that. I had a little half hiccup there. Now, this is her other foot there again. You see that? Now, could it be a deep crease? It could be on this one because the line is so straight. There's no, oh my gosh, I got the hiccups now. There's no jagged entries here on the side. Like if you see here, see how it's kind of jagged and not straight? Where this one is straight, this could be just, I don't like talking about this stuff, but when the body starts decomposing, it bloats, and then when they remove the fluids, it gets all wrinkly and stuff. You start getting some slippage and stuff. So that could be why, because I feel like this is pretty straight. It doesn't look like a jagged cut to me. Now, this right foot, this here is concerning to me. It looks like her toe, her big toe on her right foot was injured. Here, these look like injuries to me. Not so much these ones. Maybe this one, maybe here. But these look pretty conformed. Like I get, again, it could be almost anything. If not injuries, it could be slippage. It could be anything. Okay, so now we are moving on to, I believe this is Kaylee. No, this is Xana. Now you can see, like these fingers are really bloated, right? But you can see how you can see all the lines in her fingers, all the fingerprints. These are good fingerprints for her. But there's a lot here that they couldn't get here. I believe that there's, because this is all injury up top here. You can see where they've kind of measured the print a bit to try and get it, but I believe there was too much injuries to the top parts of her fingers. Here's another one down below here. I do see where they tried to measure it, but they do end up measuring these different cuts. We will see it further on. But her hands were badly damaged. Now, here is a huge gash. This one is a gash. I don't know why the red stuff showed up there, but this one here is a huge. It's almost side to side across her hand. That's her left hand. And you can see injuries all to her hands here. This doesn't look, but there's parts missing of her fingers there, like chunks out of her finger. And here we go again. Like these are bad. That's bad. That's because there was so much damage done. You can clearly see chunks taken out because this is the tip of her finger up here, and you can see pieces missing on all her fit. Like this, almost the whole tip is gone. The same as here. There's like big slashes all around here because there is a piece of her finger there. So these are all injuries. Like she fought. Like these are all injuries. Again, there's another one there. You can see them a bit more up here. Like this whole tip is gone. Injuries here. An injury right here on the thumb. And down here. That looks almost like right there. It looks like almost like the tip of the knife. Anyway, and more on here. Pieces. See how like they've got the fingerprint. They're trying to take it, but the tip is gone. The same as this could have been a not so good roll, but you can see even, you know, stuff here that is just coming off of these injuries. And that was Xana. That's the back part for Xana. Xana's feet, there looks like tons of injuries here, like all over. This is her toe, her big toe. And I mean, she was probably kicking and fighting for her life, right? Like some of these look like they could be injuries, especially like in these areas here, in these areas here, here. But without seeing the actual print, the whole thing, it's hard to tell if they're actual injuries or not. This is her other foot. You can clearly see. These are all injuries here. They got them circled too. These are all injuries. So I think that she was trying to kick at him and everything to get him the hell off of her. Lots of injuries on her feet. And again, that's Xana's. So one was her left foot, one was her right. So here's Ethan's. Now, don't forget, Ethan had been asleep, right? And by the time he knew what was happening, he didn't even have much of a chance to fight back. So his aren't going to be as bad as Xana's and Kaylee's, right? But it does look like there is an injury here. Obviously, an injury here. These are kind of smudged up top. There could be a little bit there and here. That's his left little finger, and they took a picture of this one for a reason, and I believe it's the top part here. There's some injury there. I see they got it marked here, and they got it marked here. This is his left palm. It looks like there is an area here. Like he wouldn't have had much of a chance to fight off. It happened too quick with him. So that's just the back of that paper. See, you can see another one here and another one kind of up top here. It looks like there was another one here, but we can't see it. They didn't give the full palm. And this is just like the back of the paper saying what it was. So Ethan, again, this is his right hand, and it does look like there is more injuries here on his right hand. So maybe he did try and grab at the knife. Even looks like there could be one there. And they got the tips here too. So it looks like he could have tried to grab at the knife. But he wouldn't have really had much of a chance because his throat was pretty quick. And there again. And that's where it meets one of his fingers. So, you know, going to grab, you know what I mean? I believe now this is going to be Kaylee's. Yes, these are Kaylee's. And there are tons on Kaylee's. Like, look at all these areas. Oh, yeah, there too. Like, I remember her sister saying that on her one hand, her fingers were almost taken off, and I can clearly see that in some of these photos. I don't know if you guys can see the yellow, so that's why I'm doing it in blue. There's another one there. This looks like devastating. Another one there. Oh yeah, this looks devastating. Like, look at this. That's her left palm. And that's where her fingers would have been coming up. Like, it's, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is on her right hand, And again, look at the tips. Look at all these marks. These are all injuries. These are all injuries. I got this too. That's at the base. Here, the tips of her fingers. Like, I don't know what this is here, but... And look at this. Like, you can tell, like, she fought. She fought hard. There's another one there. There's another one. Whoops. There's another one here. Like, this is bad. Now, this is her feet. Like, you can clearly see this should not be there. You've got print on this side, print on this side. This is clearly an injury, as well as the top parts of her toes. These are clearly injuries. This here, they got marked as an injury. This here, that's like a slash. Here too, here too. This, I don't know what that is. But you can clearly see this is her right foot. She was probably kicking and everything too. And you can tell by these slash marks on the bottom of her foot. Slice, I shouldn't say slash. I'll say slices. So this is, look at this toe. Right? That toe should be over here. Now, is this the one that was pretty much severed, because it looks like it across here, and they just kind of tried to get it over there to get the print, because this is showing tons of injury. Like, this is horrible. And that's exactly what it looks like. So this is her left foot. Again, you can see the slash marks here. Like, she fought. She fought. I agree. They had 3 different spellings for her name, and that's horrible. Absolutely. She fought back like hell. Okay, so we see on November 21st, they still got Jack Decor listed as a suspect. But they want blood samples from all of these people. Okay? Anywhere where you see subject, 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 they want blood samples. They want fingerprints, you know, everything. Well, how they spell it at the lab has nothing to do with the police investigation or the FBI or Idaho State Police or Moscow Police. That has nothing to do with them. This is somebody at the lab. Okay, so we're again talking about the latents. Absolutely. May they all rest in peace. Yes. They're talking about the exemplars that they already have. They have to do this each time they go over these latent prints, the L1 to the L6. They have to say, yes, we already have item 25, 26, 27, 28, that they all already have blood samples and fingerprints from the 4 victims, right? Conclusions and interpretations. Latent print L6 is a value for comparison. L6 was a fingerprint that was on a sliding door above the handle. Latent print L6 is not suitable for multi-module biometric identification system inquiry. Latent prints L1 and L2. L1 and L2 are the fingerprints that were above and below the handprints on the kitchen window in the back. And they were saying that those did not contain a sufficient amount of clear ridge detail necessary for comparison. And the L6 was analyzed and compared to the known exemplars bearing the names Madison, Xana, Ethan, and Kaylee. The latent print 6, none of them could be excluded. You can see that here because it just wasn't a good enough sample. Now, again, they were saying no prints were found on file for Jose, Jeremy, all these names that I told you up here that they were going to ask for blood samples and fingerprints from. And they did end up getting those also. But the L6, which is the fingerprint that was found on the sliding door above the handle, it was inconclusive for these 4 because these 4 lived there, as well as Bethany, Dylan, and Jack Decor was there a lot. So if one of their fingerprints was found there, it wouldn't be shocking. But these people, you know, anyway, they wanted the blood samples and they wanted the fingerprints. So latent prints were marked and preserved. Digital images used for analysis and comparison are being retained by ISP Forensic Services. So they requested the fingerprints of these people, and they would be holding L1 to L6 until they could do those comparisons, and they did do them. Okay. Latent print analysis notes. Major crime prints for victims, and they're saying it again. Each time they do a comparison, they have to put this information. So prints from Ethan, prints from Xana, prints from Madison, prints from Kaylee. Latent lift cards taken from exterior of south kitchen window. This is what they were. This is the L6. They got it circled. I got it circled here from earlier. L6. Like I said, that was the sliding door. Now they already did the L5, which was the edge of the handle on the sliding door. This is above the handle on the sliding glass door. And what they got to do, they got to go all through the prints again, and they got to attach the prints that they compared against L6. And they had to do this for each and every one, you guys. So if they're going to make a report on it, they have to include all of Xana, Ethan, any prints that they use to compare to the print, this L6 print that was taken from the crime scene. They have to attach their prints to the pages here too. No points of correspondence to Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, or Mogen, Madison, but latent core or delta is not clear enough to exclude. So they're saying inconclusive there too. They wanted better fingerprints. The only one that they could really decipher was Madison's. Ethan, Xana's, and Kaylee's, they had a hard time with. So, okay, so L1. L1 was the kitchen window that was above the handprints. They got a fingerprint, and that was totally separate from the actual handprints on the window. It was a fingerprint above it. So that's what L1 is. So they're just, see, overlapping impressions. Sizable area of ridges, poor clarity, small cluster of low clarity details. So it's inconclusive for the 4 of them if that is their fingerprint. The L2 is the fingerprint that they got from below the handprints and face print on the window. And that too, I believe, is going to be unlikely to be of value for exclusion due to void between possible core and side. So yeah, not suitable for ID or exclusion. So they tested those prints against Madison, Xana, Ethan, and Kaylee, and they said that the prints weren't good enough to exclude them. Okay, so the notes on that are per HMY's note, another person was added to the names tab. When I checked the names tab, another 10 people had been added. And that's what I showed you up here. Whoops. When they added all these people, right? They want all these people's fingerprints. So let's go back to where we were. Okay. So another 10 people had been added. Talked to Raylene about these people. See case correspondence. Ran 3 searches on the following persons: Cruz, Reagan, Barstow, Nigel, Abanaya. But oh no, I'm not gonna even try and pronounce these 2. Deskins, Anderson, and McDonald. No results. Ran Henry, date of birth 3/11, and received FBI and SEI. Called Detective Talbot, see case correspondence, and asked if he wanted this person compared against. He said, sure. He said, okay, so there was something on file for this guy. And she wanted to know if the detective wanted her to run him against the prints that they found. And he said, sure. Said that Moscow should be getting FPC from others. So I told him that's fingerprints. Told him I would wait and finish this comparison against the victims, then issue another report with all of the other persons. Okay, so that was done on 12/5. L6, that was the sliding door above the door handle. That's what L6 is right here. None of them could be excluded or included in that because of the fingerprints weren't in good enough shape, or the fingerprint that they collected wasn't a good enough print to be able to compare to with what they had, right? You're very welcome, Danielle. Okay, this note was found outside in the backyard by the back corner of the house. I believe I've got it marked here, so I must have found that because I know there was another note that was found by the Ford Explorer in the front of the house too. So I'm pretty sure that this is the note out in the backyard. That's probably why I wrote that. It's kind of hard to write with this. Anyway, and they clearly got a fingerprint off this note. Now, I'm not sure. We'll have to keep a reading down below. Now, some of these too are off of a beer can. There was prints, but they were really deteriorated. Whoops. On a beer can. And they're showing where they got the fingerprints from the windows exteriors. So that's the L1, where they got the L1, and they measured, and this is where they got the L2. So there was one above on the top part of the window and one on the bottom part of the window. Because you can clearly see here they're saying L2. And we know L2 was the fingerprint below the hand mark and face print on the window, and the L1 was above. So this is L1. And you see it marked here too. Okay, moving on. And here we go again. We're not going to go through this again because this is Madison's again. Like I said, each time they do a comparison, they have to attach the fingerprints. So we're going to skip by these because we've already seen them. Yeah, see, that's really concerning. Yeah. See, these are all concerning. Now that I can see the full print, because this should be near the arch, right? And if these are showing up, and then you got a big hole here, you know what I mean? Anyway, we seen these. That was Xana, yeah. We've already seen these just a couple minutes ago, you guys. But like I said, every time they do an analysis on anything, they have to attach the prints that they used. The last ones we seen were for just getting their fingerprints from the autopsy. Now they're saying these are attached to the examination of L1, L2, L5, and L6. And these are the fingerprints we use to compare the fingerprint that you got from each of those exhibits. They have to do this every time. There's a lot of paperwork involved with this stuff, you guys. Okay, let's continue down. They're just going through the fingerprints again. I almost lost my screen, I can see. Yeah, you can clearly see these are clearly injuries. That's Kaylee. Yeah, that toe. Look at how the toe should be coming up here, and it's going that way. And look at all the, okay, here we go. Okay. So this report, okay, do you see something here? There is no more suspect. Why? Because Jack Decor had been cleared. And this report was done. Let's just scroll to the bottom. Eight 18/2023. That's the full report. But we'll see on another one where I think it was the end of November or the beginning of December. They have the date here, and you'll see that he is no longer on it. And I think it's beginning of December. Okay, Carol. Okay, forensics field service report. Now, this is everything that she had done up until 2023. Field notes on 11/16 at approximately 9:12, forensics, Carrie, Haley, Jeannie, they all arrived at the police station. Detective Talbot was present upon our arrival. Okay, so we've got some more information here. On 11/17, which was November 17th, approximately 8:54, they all went to 112 King Road. Detective Talbot was present upon our arrival. 112 King Road is a white-colored three-story home that faces north in a residential neighborhood. The house consists of 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. First floor consists of a west bedroom, a bathroom, a furnace room, an east bedroom. That's Bethany Funk's. The west bedroom is Xana's. Or wait, the first floor. No, this is Bethany Funk. The west bedroom was empty. And a stairway to the second floor. The second floor consists of a living room, a bathroom, a west bedroom, which was Xana's, and an east bedroom, which was Dylan Mortenson's. A kitchen, a storage room under the stairs, and a switchback staircase to the third floor. The third floor consists of a west bedroom, which was Kaylee's, a landing, a bathroom, and an east bedroom, which is Madison's. Happy New Year, Norma. Okay, so the second floor west bedroom, that is Kaylee's bedroom, had a few belongings. A bed was against the south wall, and a table with 2 drawers was against the north wall. A freestanding mirror and furry chair were in the northwest corner of the room. There were a number of apparent blood stains on the bed, the south wall and the west wall, the door, and the floor. Okay? Oh, no, wait. Take that out. The second floor, west bedroom. Sorry, you guys. This is Xana's. See, that's me reading through things too fast. That was from this morning, and I was still half asleep. This is Xana's room. In the third floor east bedroom was a bed against the north wall and a closet, which was against the south wall. A desk was against the west wall. There were a number of apparent blood stains on the bed, the north wall, the east wall, the west wall, and the door. That is Madison's bedroom. So they took photographs of that scene using the LizQ imaging system. She's saying that she photographed the scene over all locations. They placed markers for all the stains that were previously labeled and collected. Hogan performed presumptive tests for the presence of blood on 61 areas from the scene using orthotoline. That's that blue stuff, you guys. When we seen the pictures of the kitchen and that, and you seen all that blue stuff all over the counter and running down the cupboards, that's what that stuff is. This stuff right here. Okay, stairway between the first and second floor. North wall of stairway. They had markers there. And there was beer cans and everything that they had collected from there. Second floor leading to or part of the west bedroom. So this is all places up there that they collected samples from red stains. Okay, the north hallway leading to the west bedroom, which is Xana's room. South wall of hallway leading to Xana's bedroom. Edge of west bedroom door. So edge of Xana's bedroom door. Exterior of Xana's bedroom door. Jamb of Xana's bedroom door. By on. This should be off on light switch. Of Xana's bedroom, south wall of Xana's bedroom, west wall of Xana's bedroom, a small table with one drawer in Xana's bedroom, floor of the west bedroom, garbage can in Xana's bedroom, furry chair in Xana's bedroom, table with two drawers in Xana's bedroom. The second floor bathroom, so that's the bathroom right outside of Xana's room. Now, later down the line, there was a bunch of stains, blood stains in there. But what they did is when they went in to try and do measuring and everything of the stains and where they were, they had to move some stuff out of Xana's room. They had already done the bathroom. So they had taken stuff out of her room and put it in the bathroom. That's why there was some transfer red stuff in there. Okay. Edge of bathroom door, white towel in bathroom. So they collected those for DNA. Second floor living room, the folding table in the living room. That's where we seen all the beer pongs for beer pong, whatever. Right of bar cart in living room, leg of bar cart, and white flower vase on bar cart. Huh. So there was they took samples. So there had to have been something there for them to take samples of. Second floor kitchen. Well, there's only one kitchen, right? Floor under north wall of kitchen cabinets. North kitchen wall behind the sink. Kitchen cabinet, kitchen sink, and the sliding glass door. Okay. Area of switchback stairs between the second and third floors. So I had heard, and I didn't want to even discuss it because there's just too many trolls out there. But anyway, I had heard that there was bloodstain evidence on the stairs leading up to the third floor. So, and that's what we got right here, the area of switchback. And what they mean by switchback is it, because you go up the stairs, there's a landing, you got to turn right, turn again to go up the other set that brings you up to the third floor. That's what they call switchback stairs, okay? So you go up the stairs, there's a landing here, right? So you come up the stairs, you got to come across here to go up these stairs to get up to the third floor. When you got up to the top of the store, there was like a half wall here. This was Maddie's room. There was a bathroom. This is like they had fridges and everything in front of the stairs in the little hallway. And then this over here was Kaylee's room. And this is where the sliding glass doors, the balcony wrapped around here. Okay, so this is Maddie's room. This is Kaylee's room. This is the bathroom. And this is the stairs, obviously. So the west wall of the half stairs. So that's here. Because this isn't a half wall, this is a full wall. So here on this side coming up, because these stairs here are coming up, right? So on this wall here, coming up the stairs before you get to the landing, east wall, lower staircase. So there was some here and some here. West side of the half wall, which is here. So on each side of the wall going up here. South side of the half wall. So over here too somewhere. Over in this area here, this wall here. And there was a window looking out here, like above the stairs. And Madison's window was here. This was the sliding glass doors of Kaylee's room. And Kaylee also had a window over here. And the bathroom window was here. And there was another window here. So, east side of the wall. So there was some here too. Wild. Half wall banister. So the banister going up here from the first to the second floor, whichever side that banister was on, there was something there too. The bathroom door. So here's the bathroom. The bathroom door was here, right here. And this is a wall in between the bathroom and Madison's room. And Madison's bedroom door was here. Kaylee's bedroom door was here. So the bathroom door, the ceiling outside of the east bedroom. So right outside Maddie's bedroom. Exterior of east bedroom door. So the exterior of Maddie's door. The interior edge of the east, so inside of Maddie's door. The north wall of the east bedroom. So the north wall of the east bedroom would be this back wall here looking over the balcony. The east wall of the east bedroom. So this wall here. The west wall of the closet of the east bedroom. So along her closet was right here. Her bed was here. So along this wall of the closet they're talking about. West wall of west bedroom. This is the west wall of the west bedroom. What was on that wall in Kaylee's room? Because the west wall of the west bedroom, that's Kaylee's room. This is west, this is east. This is north, this is south. So they got something here. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Kat. It's like people are going like, oh, they don't got nothing. They don't got nothing. They had a lot. They had a lot. And just because we didn't get to see it all, like over the last few years, we're getting to see it now, didn't mean they didn't have it, right? So second floor, south wall. Okay, so here's the second floor. Let's draw a picture. Here's the second floor. Okay, here's the stairs coming up from the first floor. This here is the half wall, okay? Because you can look, Xana's bedroom is down here. There's a bathroom here. Whoops, let's get rid of that. There's a bathroom here. There's the hall, and the living room is here. And the living room goes like this, right? Here is Dylan's room. Here's the stairs going up to the third floor. There's a closet here. This is the kitchen. And this here is that step down. And this is the kitchen. Here is the sliding glass doors. Here's the kitchen sink area. Here's the stove. The fridge is over here behind the bathroom wall. This is a wall here too. So this is the bathroom right here. The bathroom door is here. Xana's bedroom door was here. Her closet was over here. This is the corner where the TV was. The couch was here. There's a window here. There's a window here. There is a window here. This is a sliding glass door. There was a window here above the sink, and there was another window here. Ugh. This is the stairs going up. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. Okay. So second floor, south wall. Again, here's north. Here's, oops. So now, here's the, whoops. Here's the front door coming in. Don't forget, this is the second floor. Okay? So now, this is north, this is south, this is west, and this is east. Because now we've turned the map around, right? The last time we were looking at it this way. Okay, south wall of hallway leading to west bedroom. So on this wall here, they've got some red stuff. South wall hallway leading to west bedroom, they got it. Unmarked area, and they got another marked area. Edge of bathroom door, white towel in bathroom. So the edge of the bathroom door here, this is the bathroom. This is Xana's room. This is Dylan's room. This is the kitchen. This is the living room. Okay, leg of bar cart. That bar cart was right here. The table was set up like kind of here. White flower vase on cart, so that would have been on that cart right here. They've got some red stuff. Floor underneath wall of kitchen cabinets. So I don't know if it's the cabinets that were here, because there was other cabinets over here in this area too. Kitchen sink. The kitchen sink was kind of over here. Under north wall of upper kitchen cabinet. So that's over here, the north wall. So along this wall of the kitchen cabinets. Kitchen cabinet, sliding glass door. Here was the sliding glass door right here. And this is the patio out here. This is where he parked up here. Okay, third floor, west wall of west bedroom. And we've seen that back here. The west wall of the west bedroom is Kaylee's room. And they say clearly right here, third floor, the west bedroom is Kaylee's bedroom, west wall of west bedroom. All other stains were ortho, totaling positive, indicating the presence of blood. The following items were collected from the scene. One potential hair from the half wall between floors 1 and 2. 2 potential hairs from the second floor hallway leading to the west bedroom. So that's leading to Xana's room. Potential hairs from the second floor west bedroom door. That's Xana's bedroom door. 1 cigarette butt from the exterior of the south side of the residence. That's out back. Potential face, hand, finger marks on the exterior south kitchen window. And 1 paper note located in the parking area. Okay, so I was wrong up there when I noted that note. That was in the parking area, and that was right by the black Ford Explorer, which I believe was Ethan's sister's car. FS Youngling powder processed the following areas. The exterior lower pane of the south kitchen window, that's L5, that's L1, L2. The exterior frame around the lower pane, that's L1, L2. The area around the handle of the exterior and interior of the kitchen sliding glass door, that's L5, L6. And the frame and jamb of the interior kitchen sliding glass door. L5, L6. 6 latent lift cards, L1 and L2, were collected from the exterior power pane of the south kitchen window. I photographed the approximate size and location of the bloodstains and or groups of bloodstains in the second floor west bedroom, which is Xana's bedroom, and the third floor east bedroom, which is Madison's bedroom. In the second floor west bedroom, bloodstains AA to AG were documented. In the third floor east bedroom, bloodstains BA to BL were documented. Now, don't forget, this is a whole different group of forensics people that went in there. So this isn't all of the listed evidence that they collected. This is just the ones that these specific ones collected. These are from the forensics lab. They wanted to go in and get their own sampling of certain stuff. Don't forget, there was detectives and everything else that had gone in prior and got stuff. You will see that written in this report, okay? We're getting there, you guys. We're on page 83 of 146. FS Youngling and I processed the following areas with Amido Black: upper handrail between the first and second floor, hallway leading to second floor west bedroom, which is Xana's, second floor west bedroom floor, which is Xana's, second floor west bedroom, which is Xana's doorknobs, the threshold of the second floor east bedroom, that's where the shoe print was left outside Dylan's room, interior and exterior handle areas of the interior kitchen sliding glass door, the door jamb of the kitchen sliding glass door, interior threshold of the kitchen sliding glass door, edge of the kitchen countertops, half wall railing between the second and third floor, that's the first set of stairs going up, and third floor east bedroom, which is Madison's bedroom, the threshold and doorknobs, interior and exterior. Layton's L3 to L6 were collected via photography. L3 is the hand or fabric pattern that was outside Xana's bedroom, and potential shoe print outside Dylan's bedroom. They were also collected via, they took pictures from the following: the second floor west bedroom, floor L3. Yeah, pattern outside. Yeah, those are the L3 are hand or fabric patterns. East bedroom threshold, the edge of the handle from the kitchen sliding glass door. I don't know why they keep repeating themselves. But anyway, all evidence collected and was turned over to Detective Talbot on 11/18 at approximately 22:41. On 11/19 at approximately 11:13 PST, Hogan and I returned to King Road, Idaho, to photograph potential tire impressions in the road across from the residence as requested by Detective Talbot. I seen the video of them doing that. I took photographs for overall location, condition, and identification. I took comparison quality photographs of the potential tire impressions. Cleared the scene at 12:14. Toyota. Now, I don't know whose this is. Where's Kat? Kat will know. Let me just grab my lip chap, you guys. I was out trying to clear more ice and snow today, and my lips are starting to get chapped. Let me just find my lip chap here. Come on. The Lord only knows where I threw it. While I'm waiting for Kat to tell me whose car that is that they're talking about, if she knows. While I look for my lip chap. Which I can't find. Lovely. Oh, there it is. Found it. Do you know whose Toyota that was? And my... Damn it. Oh. Now I know why I had it in my little container. Well, anyway. On 11/18 at approximately 1934, Hogan and Barry arrived at 709 West Pulaski Drive, Moscow, to process a vehicle. Who lived there? Okay. Let me see if I can look it up. In the at 709 West Palisade Drive. It won't tell me. Hang on, let me see. It won't tell me. Anyway, they went to this address to process this vehicle. They were accompanied by Tolson Detective Lehman, and the owner of the vehicle were also present upon their why? Oh my God. Sorry, you guys. That should have been redacted. The vehicle is a 2011 gray colored Toyota Prius. The vehicle was located in a large vehicle bay. Hogan photographed the vehicle for overall location, identification, and condition. They searched the vehicle, but there was no significant findings. They cleared the scene at approximately 2044. I'm wondering if that wasn't... I don't know. I don't even want to say the name. Anyway, let's keep going. I just want to make sure there's no more stuff that I should be redacting here. Okay, on 11/18, approximately 21:17, Hogan arrived at King Road to assist in the search of an apartment. So there's the 1127 King Road. That is Jack Decor's. So here you go again. Danielle. Was it Danielle or was it somebody? Glowy. Okay, so not long after the Red Drums, this is on the 18th, 5 days later, they went and they searched Jack Decor's, and Jack Decor allowed them in. 112 King 7 is an apartment building consisting of 2 stories. Apartment 1 is located on the ground level and is a multi-bedroom apartment with 2 bathrooms, a living room, and a kitchen. There is a hallway with a kitchen to the north and a living room area to the north of the kitchen. There's at least 2 bedrooms east of the kitchen. There are 2 bathrooms south of the kitchen on the east side of the apartment. The response was limited to the southeast bedroom, which was probably Jack Decor's, right? Let me just, I don't know what the hell is happening there. Hang on a sec, you guys. Let me just refresh my... Okay. Hogan performed 2 presumptive tests for the presence of red stuff on the south hallway of the entry, marker 1, and on the east wall of the kitchen, marker 2, using orthotolidine. Positive results indicating the presence of blood were obtained on both stains. Swabs were collected from markers 1 and 2, and they cleared the scene. Digital images being retained. So they did collect some blood stains from there. So let me just see what they marked them as. They're not giving me the marking of them. But let me write that down because we will get the results probably in part 2. That's Jack de Coeurs. Okay. And that was done when? On November 18th. Okay, I just had to mark that down, you guys. Okay. We're almost there, you guys. Field service notes. General crime scene. This is on the 16th. They're just saying what they use to collect prints and everything else. The hair, the cigarette butt, the paper note, possible face, hand, finger marks, router, and modem. They're just saying that they collected that. Now, this here is somebody else that's gone verification of accompanying personnel. They just go through what has already been submitted and how, you know, I added notes requested by the post, made notes on others, BPA pages and window lock page should be at the end of the house notes. This is just basically putting everything into order to put it into the record, right? And they're talking about all the stuff that was collected. Like we've already heard this, like the AA to AG from Xana's room and the BA to BL from Madison's room. They're just going over everything that they did and putting it into form where they can submit it and put it into the continuing record. Okay, so this is on the 16th of November that they obtained a warrant for the dumpsters, the walk-through area, the house trash cans, this is stuff from around the dumpster was outside in the front of like on the other side of the road in front of 1122 King Road. Second floor bathroom trash. I have a hard time reading this, you guys. This guy's writing is horrendous. Super something open uncovered front door locks. Anyway, this is a warrant that they got to search that dumpster, number one, and the stuff throughout the house, other stuff that they couldn't see the bottom of. They still need a warrant to search it. So they got warrants to search it. And they wanted any of this. They wanted photograph it, Liz Q it, anything with blood or blood enhancement, footwear, anything like that, they were able to take in that warrant. Kat says, you're clearing up a whole bunch. Good, good, good. Briefing notes. These are just more briefing notes that they write in their little pieces of paper or books or whatever. They transfer it here and then they type it all out so they can put it into the record. But they do have to include this and give it to the defense so the defense can say, hey, well, hey, look at on your notes you said this, but in the documents it says this. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Or vice versa. So that's why these are included. So it's just everything that we just went through, everything they did. Talbot showed us the sketches of the scene. Second scene, torn apart, transfer may be due to detective, second bedroom and bath, E floor. Like, it's just short form, right? So they can write up their notes later, but they have to include them. This is the Liz Q, the LIQ. I know the Z is silent. The LIQ captured notes. Center of room between bed and white stool. That's the vacant bedroom on the first floor. The first floor entry. First floor bedroom. First floor bathroom. So that's the very first floor down below. Floor 2, top of stairs in living room. And then between the table and stairway across from second floor stairway. Outside doorway of west bedroom and bathroom. The west bedroom, they did all of her bedroom, all of Xana's bedroom. The bottom of the stairway leading up to the third floor. So they're just basically showing you everywhere that they set down the camera to do that 360 scan. So they did each floor and the bedrooms. Okay, so here's some more notes, you guys. We're going to skim through these. I did highlight anything that was different than what we've already read in the reports. Here it is here. Dog was on Kaylee's bed. Sliding door gets left open for dog. So when they got up there, what was the dog's name again? Murphy was on Kaylee's bed, and they opened the sliding glass door for the dog. Provided info on autopsy findings. One victim mentioned a flash of light, broken sensory in the vacant room. Broke seal, made entry, numerous sightings and seen moved during detectives processing. So it's just saying, like, when I said that, like, they had moved stuff around so they could do measurements and everything of all the red stains and stuff like that. They're describing what the house looked like. They had indoor staging on the first floor by the entry. That's where they put all their cameras, all their tools that they needed, whatever they were using, I guess, like the spray and everything they were using. That's where they had to keep everything because it says it right there. I don't think there was anything here. Photograph the stains. See here. Second floor west bedroom. Everything had been moved by detectives prior to our arrival. Bulk of the contents had been moved out of the bedroom into the second floor bathroom. That's what it says right there. In order to place roller tape on the walls, Talbot assisted Jay by moving the bed away from the wall. Care was taken to avoid disturbing bloodstains on the floor north of the bed. So they were just noting everything that they had to move to take measurements of all the staining, right? And then they sealed the door. Anytime that they went in and out, they had to do this. See, bed was moved by detectives prior to our arrival. Second floor bathroom searched. Apparent transfer stains located on the floor from items removed from the west bedroom. These stains were not tested, as no observations of note. So they're just letting everybody know that if there's any, or the stains that were in the bathroom weren't there before, and they were only there because they had moved stuff out of Xana's bedroom and put them in the bathroom so they could measure in Xana's bedroom. So, west bedroom. This is Xana's bedroom, bloodstains mapped and labeled AA to AG. They're going to show you the maps. And the east bedroom, they're going to show you the mapping of these stains, and only these stains. These aren't the ones that were on the bed and everything. These are just ones that were like on the wall and maybe even some on the floor. Let's just see. Second floor bedroom. And it's going to, each one describes exactly how big the stains were. I will go through this slowly in case you guys do want to go back and forth between the drawings and everything. But it does say how far up from the baseboard it was, how wide it was, how big the stain was, everything. If they were circular stains, if they were cast off stains, whatever. It's all listed here. So if you guys want to go back and read exactly where these things were found, but this is all in Xana's bedroom. And they, again, more from Xana's bedroom. I'm going to show you the photo of where they mapped it out. Here it is right here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see it all. So this is all the areas. Like here's the bed. So this is the wall where outside it was dripping down outside, was outside this wall. So they got these areas here. And these 4 areas here, this is the outside wall. This is the front of the house. So you would come in the front door over here somewhere, come down up the stairs, and her room was here. This is the side of the house, and the outside here would be the kitchen wall. This is all open to the outside. So they're showing you where they collected those stains, and then you can read through all up here what these stains were. If you so choose, you can do that by just pausing. But this area, tons, like, ugh. When they tell you the amount that was running down the wall there and pooled, and that's, you'll understand why it seeped outside. Kat says, I'm sure glad you understand how to read all this. Okay, so then partial way, the stairway, they list what they found there. 3rd floor. Okay, so this is Madison's room, and you can see here the BA, the BB, the BC, the BD, the BE. These are all going to be markers that are on her wall, just like you've seen in the last mapping of Xana's bedroom. It's going to be the same on Madison's bedroom. And here you can go back and look at, you can see where BA is on the wall. Come back here, and it tells you exactly how big the stain was, how far up the wall it was, how far it was from everything. You know what I mean? It gives you all the details here. I'm not going to go through it all, you guys, because I just, I can't. So if you do want to go through it, I will there, so you guys can pause and look at it. More blood stains. And pause a bit, just so for the people who are going to watch this back and may want to pause here so you can read which each stain is, how big it was, everything else. Okay, so here's Madison's bedroom. I'm going to have to make this a little bit smaller, you guys. Okay, so this is the, okay, this is the wall between, if you see the dots, that's because this is where her bed was. This wall between her room and the bathroom. The bathroom would be over here. So they're dotting. This is the entrance to the door. This is the wall above her door. This is the wall. Kaylee was apparently, Kaylee was apparently in this area here, and Madison was here, right? So this is the wall against where her bed was. This is the back wall. So as you can see, these are all the markings for where there was red stuff, right? Here's her door. Here's her desk. Here's her closet. There was a window here. So this is the window, which was right on this wall by her desk. So when you look in her bedroom, like the bathroom door would be over here, right? So when you come walking up the stairs, over here, up the stairs, and come down and around and come in her room, you'd be looking at this wall and this window. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. They're outlining it here just to show you that that is a wall inside of her bedroom. This is the inside of her closet. So they're just everywhere. It was everywhere in her room. Her room was so small, right? So there is the thing for Maddie's. Let me take off my markings here for you. For those of you who are going to look back at this, you're not going to want all my markings there. So let me make it just a little bit bigger so you can see the letters better. So BA, BE, BC, BD, BB, BG, BI, BF, BH, BL, BJ. So they haven't marked any of, this is just the stuff that was on the walls, right? They haven't done the stuff that was on the ceiling, the bed, and all this stuff that was here. They haven't marked any of that. That's going to be in part 2. Okay, this is interesting. Second floor. So this is the floor where the kitchen was, the living room, Xana's bedroom, and Dylan's bedroom. Living room, window was unlocked. Xana's bedroom window was unlocked. Dylan's bedroom. Now you could get to Dylan's bedroom in the back because her window was beside the kitchen window in the back of the house, underneath the deck above, right? Because don't forget, on the 3rd floor, Dylan's bedroom was right below Madison's bedroom. Madison was on the 3rd floor, Dylan was on the 2nd floor, but the yard came up on a hill. Like the house was kind of like pushed into a hill almost, it looked like. So Dylan's bedroom window, you could climb out easily if you wanted to, or in. It was only a couple feet. Her window was only about maybe 2.5, 3 feet up from the ground. And so her bedroom window was locked. The kitchen window on the south wall, which was the one with the handprints on it, it was unlocked. The one on above the sink was unlocked. You can tell I'm getting high into the, okay, let me take this off, document because it's starting to flash. So the kitchen windows were both unlocked. And we know the sliding glass door was unlocked, right? 3rd floor windows. The hallway north in the back. Hallway, bedroom. Okay, so the hallway where the stairs were was locked. West bedroom, north wall. So that's looking at the front of the house, looking at Kaylee's bedroom window up there. She had an AC unit in place there. Nothing above it to block the open space. Blinds down to the top of the AC unit. So Kaylee. She didn't put nothing above it to block out the heat and everything coming in. She just put the blinds down. That window was obviously not locked, right? The sliding glass doors were also unlocked in Kaylee's bedroom. The bathroom and look at this. Madison's bedroom window was unlocked. And so was the bathroom window. So the only window that was locked on the 3rd floor was the one in the stairway that you could barely reach. All the other ones were unlocked. Okay, they're saying that they took the router out of the living room. 1st floor windows, the west bedroom, which would be underneath Xana's bedroom, it was unlocked. Bethany Funk's bedroom, her windows were locked. So this is all the testing that they did for all the stains that they collected. We already went through them. I will go slow just in case here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. We went through all these stains already, right? And these were all positive for blood, so they took samples as evidence. If it was negative, pink transfer stain, south wall, hallway leading to west bedroom, second floor. It was negative, so they didn't take it. Red semicircle stain, kitchen floor, below lower cupboards. They didn't take it. It was negative. Everything else was positive. Let's just read the negative ones because we'll know. What's this? No collection. Okay. Something transfer west wall, right of closet above topmost photo bedroom floor. Correction. West bedroom floor 3. Something. There was a stain there, but it was negative for blood. That was in Kaylee's room. Small brown stains on right front leg of bar cart on the second floor. That was in the living room. That was negative. They tested it, but it was negative. Red pink swipe on south wall hallway leading to bedroom to Xana's bedroom. It was negative. Brown shiny clumpy stain on white flower vase on the bar cart. It was negative for blood. Brown drip kitchen cabinet by the microwave. Negative for blood. Kitchen sink right side red brown dip below where faucet base meets sink. It was negative for blood. Sliding door in kitchen. Inside handle of door, interior of slider, very small red transfer. It was negative for blood. Okay, so here is east hall lower staircase between floors 2 and 3. Okay, when they were saying there was no blood from the second to the third floor, well, here it's saying east wall lower staircase between floors 2 and 3, red bound smear, positive for blood. Light red transfer stain, west side of half wall in the staircase between floors 2 and 3, positive for blood. One linear red brown stain, half wall staircase between floors 2 and 3, positive for blood. One light red transfer stain, west side of half wall and staircase between floors 2 and 3, positive for blood. So that's going up to the third floor. So that's coming down because we know that Kaylee and Madison were taken out first, right? And I remember in some of the stuff that we've already looked at, when they tested this, the DNA that came back to these stains right here, these ones that we just talked about on the staircase, that's how they figured out. Well, we already knew because my reading in December said he went upstairs first, right? That's long before we even knew who Bryan Kohberger was. I had said, nope, they came in the sliding door, parked in the back, came in the sliding door, and went upstairs first. And I think he was going to just leave because I do still believe Kaylee was the target. And as he was going to leave and coming down the stairs to go back out the kitchen, he ran into Xana, and Xana booked it and didn't make it. And that's the only reason that Xana and Ethan were taken out as well, because they were collateral damage because he thought she seen him coming down the stairs from the third floor. So, and the reason we know this now is because these stains, J, L, K, and M, these stains, when they were tested, only had a mixture of Madison and Kaylee's DNA. If Madison and Kaylee would have been attacked second, you would have had Ethan and Xana's mixture in there too, because it would be coming off the knife, right? No, the only DNA that was on that knife was Madison's and Kaylee's. Now, when they did testing as BK was leaving Xana and Ethan, okay, and they got drippings from the knife, okay, and they've got cast off from the knife. Those cast offs showed a mixture of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie. So that's how they can prove that Maddie and Kaylee were attacked first. But we already knew that. If you watched my read on December 6th or December 9th of 2022, I called it in that read. Anyway, let's get back to this. Transfer on east side of half wall between floors 2 and 3. So these are all, we didn't have these before either, and they were positive. There's small floor 3 ceiling outside Maddie's bedroom, attic entry perimeter, east side panel. Like, that's crazy. And I think, I really think that I don't want to get into it. I want to just go over the evidence that they got here. But this here kind of backs up what I have said before, that I thought Kaylee was in her room and heard something going on in Maddie's room and came running into Maddie's room, because no way would she leave the dog in her bedroom with the door open all night long, because the other roommates were complaining about him peeing and pooping places, right? So she would bring him in her room and close the door. And I do believe Kaylee was in her room that night. And I believe that Kaylee heard something going on in Madison's room and came running to her defense. And she got it too. And this kind of falls in line with that. 3 small red stains, floor 3 ceiling outside of the east bedroom. It was on the ceiling. So as she's coming into the bedroom and maybe jumping on him, like, did he run around the end of the bed and try and get at her? And that's how it got out on the ceiling outside Maddie's door? There's a reason for it, you guys. Outside of entry door to west bedroom on 2nd floor. So I believe that started outside. I think Xana was trying to get back to her bedroom and get the door locked, and she just didn't get in there in time. But anyway, we know of all of these, but I did highlight the new ones that we didn't know. On the door, there was also a red swipe on the inner edge of the door. We didn't know about that one either. Let me just check back here. Okay. Yeah, we didn't know about this one either. We knew, like, on the outside, if you closed Maddie's door, there was a couple spots there, but this is on the inner edge. So that would be like where your pin comes out for turning your door handle, where the pin comes out to hook onto the frame. That side of the door, that, like, what, an inch or 2 wide, an inch and a half wide. There was, so he had red stuff on him. And that's why I said he took off his clothes. White towel hanging west of sink, east of shower, light brown, floor 2 bedroom. It was negative. And I can't read this guy's writing. Something behind sink. A cabinet, under cabinet behind the sink. It was negative. We're almost there, you guys. So here we go again. This is just more notes. If you want to read this, you can. This is more stuff that they took measurements of things that they collected. And they also measured the distance between each step and everything else. It's crazy. Some measurements listed on presumptive blood forms. Measurements for stain X is noted at 4.4. Presumptive forms that measure deputies to stains closer to mark X. Measurement applies to staining closer to marker 48. All from floor, all an edge of the door and east bedroom door, floor 3. So these are all the stains that were on the door. So there's some from the landing. Measurements from doorway of the west bedroom, 2nd floor going east. These are all measurements. So if you want to read through them, you can pause and go through. We've already gone through all of this, you guys, the cigarette butt and potential hairs and all that. We've gone through all this. This is just them, one of their logs. But we've already gone through all this. Finger mark on the window in the back by the kitchen. South kitchen window again. Okay, so here's a new one. This is the fingerprint above and then below on the kitchen window. We didn't know about that. We knew that there was 2 hand marks and a face mark on the kitchen window, but we didn't know that there was also a fingerprint above that and below that that they got. So those 2 are new. That's why I circled them. Again, there's the L3, L4, L5, L6. So the L3, this is just stating which each one was. Impression, possible hand or fabric line pattern. Xana's bedroom floor 2, northwest corner. Potential shoe, outside threshold of east bedroom on floor 2. Latent impression, kitchen sliding door interior, the edge of the handle, and then above the handle. So these ones are new. These 4 are new that we didn't know about. Oh no, we knew about this one, the shoe outside of Dylan's door, but we didn't know about this hand or fabric line pattern impression. And we didn't know about these 2 fingerprints that were above and below that window. And they're just saying that they used Amino Black and that they photographed the footwear impressions. They measured it. Floor 3, east bedroom threshold and doorknob. Like, they're just saying everything that and we've already read this earlier. And we're going to hear more about it in part 2 because they're going to go through all the fingerprints and how they came back. Okay, so they did search Jack DeCour's car. And they marked everything that was in that car. And let's take that out. They shouldn't have put that there. Oh my God. Anyway, that was his University of Idaho pass number and everything. Like they were supposed to. I mean, I'm just ID. Okay. They were supposed to redact this shit. Like, is that why we waited almost 2 months to get the next set of documents? And we still don't have them all. So they examined his whole car. And it was not long after this that he was, when did they go? (11/18/2022). So a week and a half later, they searched his car, everything, and then he was cleared. See, on the 18th, they searched all his apartment and everything. Here it is here. And it's the apartment of Jack DeCour. And he allowed them to search everything. So if you want to read through this, you can. Okay, so then on the 19th, get this, Detective Talbot received information that there is a video of a car leaving the scene at 1122 King Road the night the homicides occurred. There is confirmed tire marks still present at the scene. A photo of the marks was sent for reference. A tire mark expert came and she indicated most probable area to photograph for exclusion purposes and class characteristics. I can't read half of this guy's writing. So this is where they started getting people saying, hey, look at, we got video, we got video, we got video, we got video. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. So for somebody to say that Jack DeCour was a suspect right until Bryan Kohberger pled guilty is a lie. Because look at, this is December 5th, 2022, and there is no Jack DeCour anymore listed as a suspect. The suspect is now Bryan Kohberger. This is when I believe the IGG came back, when they got the information from the FBI. Oh, welcome back, Kate. So we've already gone through this. The L5, which is the sliding door, the edge of the handle. I wanted to make sure you guys seen this too. Whatever that fingerprint is that was found on the sliding glass door, Bryan Kohberger was excluded from that fingerprint on the sliding glass door. Well, we knew he would be because he was wearing gloves. And I think in the next, I'll wait until we go through the next set of documents, because I do believe that there's the L5 again. The L5 and the L6 are the sliding glass door. Again, this is where Bryan Kohberger is excluded on L5. L6, no points of correspondence to Kohberger, but cannot exclude due to the quality of the latent print that they lifted. So inconclusive for Kohberger, similar ridge flow present in number 10, some dissimilarity present, but cannot exclude due to lack of distinct details in the latent. I don't think you're going to find Bryan Kohberger's prints on the door because he was wearing gloves. He's not stupid. He was a criminology student. He had a change of clothes, for crying out loud. So this is where they get Bryan Kohberger's fingerprints. And again, he was excluded from the L5, but the L6 was inconclusive. And these are his fingerprints. See how clear his are compared to the victims? Right? Because the victims were in the state that they were in. So these are his fingerprints. So on January 5th is when they got the buccal swabs, friction ridge exemplars, and hair samples, which means fingerprints, from Bryan Kohberger. Martinez photographed Bryan Kohberger's person for overall identification and condition. He also collected 2 simultaneous buccal swabs from the mouth of Bryan Kohberger. He also collected a friction ridge exemplars, which are fingerprints and palms of Bryan Kohberger, 2 ink fingerprint cards, and 10 sheets of adhesive lifts. Martinez also collected plucked hair samples from 4 areas of the head, arms of Bryan Kohberger, 1 sample from the front of the head, back of the head, right arm, left arm. We cleared Latah County. Okay, so this is Field Services analysis and the notes. This is where they go through and they make the notes that they took stuff from. They took hairs from his hair and his hair from his head and his arms. Oh my God, you guys! And it should say somewhere here the buccal swab. Yeah, right here. Buccal swabs collected 2 and 47 images of him. Oh, imagine taking 47 pictures of him. Ink and powder. Powder 10, ink 2. Okay. And then this is just somebody going over the notes, somebody else that was there. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't hear this and I heard it. So put this in there, put that in there, take this out, put this in, because this is a more overview of how it happened. Sometimes, you know, if you get 3 different people at the scene, they're all going to make a note. It's all saying the same thing. Collecting the buccals, head, and arm. This is the warrant to be able to collect Bryan Kohberger's DNA. And this is what they collected. The buccal swabs and the hair samples. Hair from Bryan Kohberger, back of head, crown of head, left arm, right arm. 2 buccal swabs, 2 swabs inside of cheeks. Major case prints, 2 inked and 10 handprint sheets. Overall photos of Bryan Kohberger's person, arms, legs, front, back, full body, which means he had to strip down. Oh my God. I would not want that job. So this is just going over it again. How many ink, handprints, ink 4, left palm, right palm. They got them. They mark it down so many times. So this is just some of their briefings and when they went places, when they got back, when they went to pick him up, the full body photography, buccal swabs. This is just somebody else's report, but you have to include everybody who's there, each of their reports, right? Again, the examination process was started for latent prints. Okay. So they got everybody's, look at how many prints of people they had. They fingerprinted a lot of people. Wow. And then we're going to go through all these photos again. There's the beer can. So if you guys want to see Keystone Light can, these are the beer cans that they ran prints off of. And they're photographing when they put the tape down and pull it off, that's the print that they get. It's kind of hard to, well, no wonder they couldn't get good prints off of that. And these markings here, you guys, are showing the can, where the can was indented. And college kids do that. They finish the beer and they got to crush that can, right? Look at how strong me is. I can crush an aluminum can. But these are all fingerprints that was taken off the can. Okay. They're showing. Anyway, these are all fingerprints off the can. And I'm sure in part 2, because we're at page 145, in part 2 is probably where we're going to see if any of these prints came back. But we have been at this for 2 hours just going through part 1. We are going to have part 2, probably Monday or Tuesday. Tomorrow I will have the mini reads at 2 p.m. Eastern. We will have the mini read. So if you want your very own mini read, come and get it tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern. We will be here. doing live mini reads for anyone who wants one. And then I want to take Monday off. So Tuesday, we will go over part 2 of the forensics and fingerprints. There's a lot more that we didn't know that we are going to find out in the next set. And even, like, I will show you. Hang on a sec. Let me stop showing this. So I can pull this up. Okay, here it is here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought I was showing. I'm an idiot. Okay. So see this? Forensic Print Examination Report, Part 1. That's what we just did. These are all the files that were just released. We've gone through 3 now today with this one, 4 of these. This is Part 1. It was 20,476 kilobytes. Well, Part 2 is almost the same. It's like 40 kilobytes less. It's 20,420. So if we pull this up, 172 pages, you guys. This is the next one that we are going to be going through. This is the next one, 172 pages. This is Part 2. And like you, oops, leave that one. And like I said, you can see it right here, Part 2. There's Part 1, Part 2. So it's not that I am trying to drag this out. It is a lot. And I got to go through it. So I'll probably take Monday going through it to see what is repeats, what isn't. It's a lot. My cat says, I'm listening while cleaning. Oh, thank you, Cat. Rose, thank you. Great job, Willow. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, it's a lot. So you guys, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Please give this video a like. I put a lot of time and energy into these videos. You know, it's free to subscribe. It's free to hit the like. If you can afford it, there is super chats. There's a little heart below the video for people who watch it later down the line. You can hit that heart there and donate to the channel. And it lets me know that you guys appreciate it, right? And I know it's not easy this time of the year. And that's why I say, if you can afford it, it is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, I'm not going to keep any more of your guys' times. So Kate says, thank you, Willa. Please consider donating to the channel. Yes, thank you. If you can afford it, it's greatly appreciated. Also, there's a link for my PayPal in the description. Let me know if you do donate through PayPal so I can shout you out. But if you can, please, please, please help out the channel if you can. If not, please hit the subscribe and hit the like. That helps me out a lot also, and I appreciate that too. So for all you newbies, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Safe place here for everybody. I have the best mods around. I've had them for 5 years now. Have lost one. Mitch sadly passed away just before Christmas. But all of my mods I've had for years. I've never had to fire a mod. My mods are amazing. Amazing, you guys. I trust them with everything. So that says a lot. You look at some of the channels and, oh, I wuff you too. Yes, I have to redact. You look at a lot of the channels, they go through mods like crazy. I've got the same mods that I've had for almost 5 years. So I'm going to get maybe rid of one if she doesn't start showing up here. Oh, thanks, Kat. I think I am when I'm in the car and I'm singing along to some Upchurch. Another country boy. Oh gosh, I love some of his songs. The new stuff I'm not crazy about, but his older stuff I really like. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. I'm not going to take much more of your time. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here for mini reads. Come and get your mini read live. Monday, I will take off so I can go through all these documents and see what we're going to do. You're very welcome, Chloe, and I hope showing you that as of December 5th, Jack Decor was no longer a suspect. He was taken off of that. So I hope, now you got the verified information. You can ask anybody here. I don't put something out unless I can verify it. So there you go. Don't listen to these people that are conspiracy theorists and, oh, he didn't do it. They're making it all up. Come on. Come on. The guy was a criminology student. He almost got away with it. Almost. But with that being said, welcome. Thank you all for being here. And I'm going to end it like I always do. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings and be careful who you trust. I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.